Can you hear it? It's here, all around you. Listen carefully, and you'll hear the story of Lake Templene. Not too long ago, a unique man by the name of Floyd Templene had a big idea. He wanted to take a small stream which meandered through acres of marsh and farmland and turn it into a lake. So with the help of a few colleagues and friends, Mr. Templene set out to make his dream come true. This is the story of imagination, hard work, and an indomitable positive attitude. It is the story of Lake Templene.
Well, we had a meeting one night, and had Dr. Bill and his brother, and Dick Flurp, and Doc Walters, and had a Ralph Baird from Charlotte. And we rode around one morning, and he kept talking negative all the time, and I kept trying to talk positive to him. And when I got back to Centerville, we went to lunch, and after lunch, he started home. He said, well, how soon will I need money? He talked negative all day. I thought he wasn't coming in, see? And he come in, and he said, I just wanted to hear your sales job. He said, you did a hell of a job with me. You got my attention, he said.
And they would need the attention of many other people, too, for it was going to take a lot of land to build this lake.
The first farmer was down the road here was an Amishman, and I went to him and I told him I wanted to buy the farm. And he said, oh, I don't know, I don't want to sell it or not. And I said, well, what do you want for it? And he said, I want a price, whatever the price was. And I said, I'll give you 5,000 more. 5,000 more? He said, I said, I'll go and talk to my wife. And he come back out about 5 minutes and said, we're going to sell it to you.
One sale led to another, and soon Mr. Templene and his team of investors had enough land to begin the project.
I had some wonderful people with me. I had really nice, we never had an argument. We'd have a meeting about every 6 weeks out here in the shed I had. And we never had an argument. We had everything under control. I don't know, I was just awful lucky to have those kind of people. I just very, very lucky.
The early part of the development started with a contour map, and the county surveyor, Bob Sayers, that I worked for many years, designed that lake elevation, which is 828.5, all around that contour map to see what was flooded. And some of the areas had to be diked up so it didn't go too far in the farmers' lands, and other areas had to be dredged out. But it was quite an undertaking.
When we built the dam, we had to change the road at the same time. The road come up almost to the house here, and we got permit from the county to change the road, and the county built the road and changed the road, and we paid for it. And down the road we had a bridge that was going to be too close to the water, so we had to raise a bridge, and that cost $35,000.
There was two bridges. There was the one east of the project on Finley Road out near Nottawa Road. That was a very low bridge made out of steel, and that was raised up and made into a big wood bridge. And then the wood bridge down where the dam is, just on the west end of the project, was taken out, and the dam became the bridge, and the old bridge became a dike. The amount of steel in that dam and welded joints and then the concrete, it's so well built that I think it could be compared to the pyramids. It's going to be around a long time after we're not here.
And the water began to rise.
Every day you look out and there was a lot more water than there was when you went to bed.
And the small stream turned into a river, and sure enough, the river turned into a lake.
There was stakes about every 5 lots that showed the water line, where the water was going to come up to. And of course, that was kind of optimistic, but that was where the water was supposed to come to. And that water came right to that stake, which always did amaze me, that the topographical surveys that they had made were very accurate.
When we moved out there, we were some of the earliest people, and there were very few kids out there, so I know that part of it I was a little bit disappointed with because I thought it would be crowded. The kids eventually appeared.
And families began to grow, and the lake became more than an attraction. It became a home.
I still remember when the early subdivisions went in, Hickory Hills, Ridgewoods, along the lake was still coming up. And so the lots were not deeded to the water line. They were deeded to the 831 100-year floodplain line. And so that there was actually land between the lot and the lake that the property owner didn't own, but he had the right to cross it. So later, Mr. Templene deeded that land to those that made the request and filled out the paperwork.
I wanted to name it Lake Sherman. And I wanted to name it other names too. And I couldn't agree on anything. And Dr. Beale come up with this name, and they all agreed on it.
And thereafter, this large body of water was known as Lake Templene. Today, Lake Templene covers more than 1,000 acres in St. Joseph County of southwest Michigan. It is a backyard to hundreds of homes and a recreational destination for all ages.
I was amazed the first year after the lake was flooded. This is going to sound like a fish story, but there were bluegills to catch out there that averaged 9 and 10 inches long, and you could just haul in bluegills till you had to go to shore and clean them and go back out and do it over again. It was amazing fishing early in the development.
This much of the development is a good thing for you, but you see, if you were an excavator, it was good for you too, or a builder, or a retailer in the area, or an insurance man, or it goes right down to restaurants. Everyone in the area benefited by the Lake Templene being developed like it is now.
Not too long ago, a unique man had an idea, and through persuasion, cooperation, and lots of goodwill, he made that idea come true.
My house was the 4th house out there, and I couldn't even dream that it would end up like it did.
Positive thinking. Think you can do it.